Sure, you rinse your wetsuit with fresh water after every dive. You do rinse it after every dive, don't you? But eventually that neoprene is gonna get gross, crusty, stained, and smelly. Lucky for you, deep cleaning your wetsuit is super easy and can even prolong the life of your neoprene. I'll show you how. I just got back from an amazing trip diving the kelp forests of Monterey, California. 10 out of 10 would recommend. After a bunch of dives and sitting damp inside a suitcase for several hours, my wetsuit could really use a deep clean. Even if the smell doesn't bother you, salt water and other contaminants can crust onto your zippers and dry out the neoprene, which can cause it to decay faster than it would with proper maintenance. It's a good idea to not only freshwater rinse after every dive, but occasionally give your neoprene a deep clean too. There's a few things you're gonna need before you get started. A deep sink, bathtub, or a deep storage bin that's sturdy enough to hold water. Bonus, you can use a storage bin to transport your gear in between dives. A good wetsuit cleaner and deodorizer, water, of course, and a wetsuit hanger. You're not going to want to use just any old hanger. You want something that's got nice big rounded shoulders like this, that isn't going to leave a permanent dent in the shoulders of your wetsuit. I really like this one because it swivels and it folds up neatly for travel. First, rinse your wetsuit with fresh water to wash away the worst of the crud. You can use a hose or a freshwater rinse tank or tub. If you're using a tub or rinse tank, just submerge and agitate it for a minute. You'll notice I start with my wetsuit inside out. It's easier to take it off after your dive if you just peel it off like a sock. Once you've given it a thorough rinse, flip it around and rinse the outside. Pay special attention to any zippers. Now fill your tub or sink with warm water. Cold water's fine too, just make sure the water isn't hot. You might not need to fill your sink or tub, you just want enough water to submerge the wetsuit. Now add your wetsuit detergent. My favorite is Slush. It's non-toxic, eco-friendly, biodegradable, and it smells nice too. Plus, it's so gentle you can even use it as a shampoo and body wash. The package offers instructions for a light mix, medium mix, and full strength. I generally just use some. For extra funk, I use some more. Drop in your wetsuit and agitate. I usually agitate it for a minute, then let it soak for a few minutes while I go do something else, come back, agitate it for another minute, and so on. After about 7 or 8 minutes, turn your wetsuit inside out and agitate again. Repeat agitating and soaking until it's been about 15 minutes total. Rinse thoroughly. If you're using Slush, you actually don't have to rinse it, but I like to. Just look at what it's been soaking in. At this point, you can be done if you want to, but today I'm going to take it one step further and treat it with Sink This Stink. I don't really understand the science behind it, but let me tell you, it works. Once again, add warm or cool water to your tub, not hot. You only need a little bit of this stuff. Half an ounce for 10 to 20 gallons. That's 1 tablespoon, or 15 milliliters for our metric friends. Submerge and agitate your wetsuit for about a minute, then let it soak. Once again, come back and agitate it every couple of minutes until it's been soaking for at least 10 minutes. For extra stinky neoprene, like boots, you can leave it soaking overnight with a 2 or 3 pound weight in each boot to keep it from floating. Sink This Stink works its magic when it's wet and soaked into the neoprene, so don't rinse it, just hang it up to dry. Remember, your wetsuit hanger should have nice, big, rounded shoulders like this. Regular hangers can leave permanent dents in the shoulders of your wetsuit. Drying your wetsuit inside out means that the inside dries first, which is great if you're diving the next day. It means that the part that's touching your skin isn't going to be cold and wet. If you're not diving again after a day or two, come back and turn your wetsuit outside out to get the outside nice and dry. This is especially a good idea if your wetsuit storage area doesn't have the best airflow. Once it's completely dry, you can keep your wetsuit stored on that hanger, or fold it loosely in a bin and keep it stored somewhere dark and cool. Any tight folds or creases can become permanent. It might be tempting to take a few shortcuts, but there's definitely a few things I wouldn't do. Don't use hot water. Heat can stiffen neoprene and even ruin it entirely. Plus, heat can mess with the glues that bond seams and zippers. Don't use a washing machine. Even a delicate cycle is harder on the suit than it needs to be. Just stick with a light hand wash and learn to love good maintenance. Don't use chemicals or bleach. Stick with a mild detergent that's safe for neoprene. A wetsuit shampoo is your safest bet. But you can also use a little bit of dish soap. Just remember that anything that is left behind on that neoprene could be bad for the fishies. So rinse really thoroughly and use an eco-friendly biodegradable product if possible. Don't leave it in direct sunlight. UV rays can age your neoprene and cause it to degrade much more quickly. Don't ever dry your neoprene in the dryer. Remember, heat is the enemy of neoprene. And even if you just have it on the air cycle, it's much harder on your suit than it needs to be. There's not really a one-size-fits-all answer to how often you should deep clean your neoprene. I generally do it after every dive trip, and if I'm diving locally, when I start to notice the funk getting a little extra. That's it! In just 30 minutes, your suit will be nice and fresh, ready for the next time you want to use it. Plus, the conditioning cleaner you used will help keep the neoprene soft and extend its lifespan. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it and hope you found it helpful. Until next time, dive safe, dive responsibly, and always have fun.